Foodsafety.gov.
Tonight, the feds are investigating a cyber leak involving nude photos of female celebrities. Photos of actresses like Jennifer Lawrence, Kirsten Dunst, Kate Upton. They were stolen from their private iCloud accounts, then posted on a website. Authorities say nude photos of more than 100 celebrities were posted to the site 4chan. I think I'm saying it right. Some of those celebrities say that the photos aren't real. However, a spokesperson for Jennifer Lawrence and others say the actress will prosecute anyone who posts the images. Officials could face charges here, be found guilty of identity theft, wiretapping, even unauthorized access to a computer. Okay, let's take that as given, guys. And Dan, my question is, could face charges here, be found guilty of identity theft, wiretapping, even unauthorized access to a computer. Okay, let's take that as given, guys. And Dan, my question is, if there's kiddie porn, and you guys know this for back in prosecuting days, you can prosecute not only the person, the purveyor of it, but you can also prosecute people who download it, who had nothing to do with the commissioning of it, endangering a child or whatever. Mm-hmm. Why is it different if you're taking stolen material that was never intended for public consumption, you're putting it out, and then you take it down yourself? Why aren't you also part of this criminal chain?
That's a good point. With child porn, anyone who possesses it is committing a crime right there, and it's really important that we prosecute it. And as a member of the Sex Crimes Bureau, I did. In this case, the police and the law enforcement agencies are going to go after who stole the photos and who's disseminating it. Even though people who download it may be contributing to the crime, may have stolen property, it's not going to be put in the same category as child porn. And as a realistic matter, they're not going to track down who downloads it. But people who do spread it, post it, people who put it on Twitter, they may be prosecuted, and certainly the person who stole it may be prosecuted. We saw Scarlett Johansson had nude photos stolen a couple of years ago, and the person who did that is serving 10 years in prison. So I think law enforcement will focus on that.
Didn't it have a chilling effect when you guys went after not just the creeps who took the photos of the kids, but the people at home in the basements that were downloading it? Didn't it have an impact?
I think the difference is that the person who has child porn at home is clearly a public safety threat, not only to act on their need to see naked children, but also they're encouraging people to do it. Now, someone who downloads a celebrity nude photo may also be encouraging people to steal it, and they are contributing to that, but it's a different category than the person who's contributing to the dissemination of child pornography.
You're representing Jennifer Lawrence in this case. Are you going after just the person who took it, or are you also going after maybe even the sites that put it up? I mean, how about them? They're a key. For me, they always get a pass in all this, right? It's that cyberbullying or whatever else, they want your money to sign up for it, but then they throw their hands up and say, you can't look at me, we just create the forum.
Well, I think that going back very briefly just to the child porn in and of itself is illegal. So that's a totally separate issue. When you look at these cases, you have
theft people, illegal?
Theft is illegal, but generally for this type of theft you don't get 10 years in prison, because what's the real value here? It's not a monetary value. Normally it's a statute that says if it's over 1,000, over 3,000, over 50,000. Here you have to go back. Before I would even take this case, I'd look at what your agreement is with Apple, number one, okay? And then you have to also ask, why in the world are you putting your nude photos in the cloud to begin with? So I'm quite sure when you click agree, you're waiving a lot of this stuff. You agree to hold harmless Apple. You're agreeing that you'll indemnify them if you commit any crimes.
But the intention of these women were never to take photos to be shared with the world. If they did that, they pose in Playboy and make some money off it.
Well, but a lot of them do that, exactly that. And a lot of them are in movies where they're nude. A lot of them are in Playboy. A lot of them are doing a lot of other things. So it's a difficult, to me, it's a case where on the one hand, it's almost like defamation. In order to win defamation, you have to show publication, you have to show that you were harmed. But if you've already publicized the same thing yourself, then I think it kind of diminishes the value. Now, the other argument would be, Yes, I did publicize it in the past, and I got paid $5 million for those pictures. So maybe that's where your damages are. And you start to say that here you've taken something I could have sold, and you're publicizing it for free, or you're making money off of it. That's why these sites are
It's the
actually...
same conversation, Doug, about this whole wild west of the internet as to where the rules start and stop. If I went into your drawer and took out photos of you, God knows what I find, and then I decided to disseminate that everywhere. Yeah, don't do it. That's theft. No, really. But and then to turn around and say, well, somehow you took it off a cloud, it doesn't really count.
Well,
you know?
I think the bottom line is, if somebody's making money off of these photos, then they're going to go after them. I mean, if somebody's looking at the photo, it's kind of out there. There's almost a question about whether it's news at that point, the fact that these are out there and people are looking at them. But if somebody then takes the photo that's been stolen, puts it up there, and is in some way making money off of it, well, of course you're going to go after them.
And if any of us download it, we should feel no culpability?
Listen, I think there's a moral culpability that you should
no
feel at some
But
point.
the bigger issue that we're avoiding is that, the fact that they were able to get into the cloud and get this information
And that's where Apple
worries
comes
me,
in. Yep.
that they can get into the cloud and get information as to our finances.
We're going to talk
and
about our
everything else.
friend Mr. Bartlett and what's going on with him this week right after this. Stay with us.